An Indian-origin truck driver accused of making an illegal U-turn that killed 3 people in Florida last week was denied bond Saturday.
There is proof by preponderance of the evidence.
ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਸਬੂਤ ਮਿਲਿਆ
that the defendant is an unauthorized alien.
ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬੰਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਉਣ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕਰਦਾ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਿਆ ਨਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਨਜਾਇਜ਼ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਪਿਆ ਇੱਥੇ
Therefore, this court finds you present
ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਦਾਲਤ ਹੈਗੀ ਨਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰੋ
a substantial flight risk.
Judge, could you repeat that, please?
A substantial flight risk.
Okay. ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਨਾ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਖਤਰਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਾਫੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ
And there are no conditions of release that will ensure your appearance at trial.
ਤੇ ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਛੱਡ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਖਤਰਾ ਇਹਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਛੱਡਦੇ ਹੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੇਸ਼ੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਆਓ ਹੀ ਨਾ
Therefore, sir, I'm setting your bond on each charge at no bond.
The crash sparked a clash between U.S. Department of Homeland Security and California Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom over Harjinder Singh, a native of India, obtaining a work permit and driver's license in the state. The Trump administration says Singh was in the U.S. illegally. Singh was charged with 3 state counts of vehicular homicide and immigration violations, and he was denied bond on all charges. He is being held in the St. Lucie County Jail. Lieutenant Andrew Belanca from the St. Lucie County Sheriff's Office said,
"What does it mean to you all to have him back here after he's been in California for more than a week?"
Yeah, so he took advantage, I think, of the fact that these are very complex investigations, and you can't just charge somebody right at the scene sometimes. And again, you have to work with the state attorney's office, and we've worked these cases before in the past. I think he took full advantage of the fact that this was under investigation. Hopefully to flee to California, his home state, where it's no secret it's a sanctuary state, and the fact that maybe he was hoping he'd walk scot-free, but our Governor Ron DeSantis and State Attorney Tom Backetall had other things in mind.
And what has been your reaction? I mean, we lost 3 Floridians in this tragic crash. He tried making an illegal U-turn, cutting across all these lanes of traffic. What was your reaction when you saw this video that came out? How has it been for you?
So, a lot of emotions. He did make an illegal U-turn. Had absolutely no remorse. You watch that video and you watch that minivan crash into the back of that trailer. I mean, it almost seemed like it was on purpose, to be honest with you. Nobody in their right mind could think they can make a U-turn like that without causing some sort of crash. People are driving 70, sometimes in excess of 70 miles an hour. They had absolutely no time to react to that crash. So very sad for the families that are involved, obviously. But more than anything, just the fact that not only did he not show any remorse, he didn't even try to render aid. Didn't even try to get out of the truck to go see if anybody's okay. I mean, any normal person in their right mind would try to do that. And that's whether you're here illegal, not illegal, that has nothing to do with it. You're talking about something that's just human nature. So that just saddens me.
What about the passenger? Is there any charges coming his way at all?
I'd have to refer that to Florida Highway Patrol.
And I know DeSantis mentioned this as well, of the company that he was driving for, of wanting to go after them as well. And when we were digging into them, we found a bunch of violations. We found that the DOT actually grounded them only to be traveling in the state of California the day of the crash. Is that something you guys are also looking into?
Well, I know Secretary Rubio and President Trump have pretty much suspended their operations nationwide, and the governor here in the state of Florida has done the same. They're going to be looking into them. So pretty much when they say they're going to do something, you can pretty much bet on it. It's going to happen.
U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has put a hold on him. Florida Republican Governor Ron DeSantis dispatched Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins to California to escort Singh onto an airplane Thursday. Singh made the illegal turn on the highway about 50 miles north of West Palm Beach, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. A minivan in the neighboring lane was unable to avoid the truck's trailer and slammed into it, killing the minivan's driver and 2 passengers.
We had this illegal, some guy comes from India illegally. He ends up in California, of course, and gets a commercial driver's license. Now, first of all, he wasn't eligible for a commercial driver's license. Second of all, he doesn't speak or understand English. How are you going to operate some big rig when you don't understand the road signs? And so this guy got a commercial driver's license in Washington State and in California. Well, he's driving stuff in Florida and ends up trying to do a U-turn in the middle of the highway where they have the gaps for the highway patrol, official use only. And, of course, you can't just do that on a dime. And there's a car coming, and the car runs into the big rig, and 3 people are killed because this guy doesn't know what the hell he's doing. So this was something that we were, and then so, you know, people didn't necessarily know what happened at the time because the witnesses were dead. Video you saw, and it's just like this guy had no, it didn't even faze him that this had happened. First of all, if I got into a wreck, you know, and didn't hit anybody, you know, that would be something that I'd be concerned about. Like, okay, did I try to do a U-turn or whatever? And then if there's any type of collision, aren't most people's first reaction to just be like, oh man, I hope everyone's all right, and to try, this guy didn't care. And so we we worked with the federal government. They were able to get him. The U.S. Marshals were able to, once that evidence came in, were able to detain him. We sent the lieutenant governor out to personally extradite him back to Florida yesterday. And so he is in Florida, and he is facing justice in Florida for those 3 deaths. But that's not enough. Yes, we'll hold him accountable, and he's going to potentially spend decades in prison. But why would a company, and this is a California company, why would they put someone behind the wheel of one of those things when this guy can't even communicate and doesn't understand English? And so the Trump administration, I think, commendably, has already revoked the company's license to operate. And I think that's absolutely appropriate. We're going to be looking at what our remedies are, or maybe from the victims' families' remedies against a company that didn't seem to care about public safety. But then you also have the issue of California. You know, we've talked about these, I mean, we've seen this on display. Certainly since I've been governor, you see what has happened to Chicago. It's collapsed. What's happened to some of these places in California? You got homeless everywhere. You got obviously high taxes. You got people leaving. New York City, I mean, as bad as that got under de Blasio, I'd say, you know, buckle your seatbelt if this new guy gets in. I mean, it's going to be a total disaster, and it's a predictable outcome of leftist policies being put in place. And we contrast that. We criticize it. We say, hey, people are leaving your state and everything. But it's not just kind of a philosophical debate. Yeah, Florida, you know, people want to come here. We have low tax. We're doing all this stuff, low crime. The reality is those sanctuary policies of California are spilling over, and they are impacting people around the country. And this is a great example of that happening. So ultimately, we can do all the right things in Florida, and we'll continue to do it. But unless these sanctuary jurisdictions like California are reined in, you are going to continue to expose Americans in other states to the problems that flow from not caring about borders or not caring about the rule of law. So I just wonder, like in Congress, you know, we've got a Republican Congress. All these guys that run when they ask you for their vote, oh, I'm going to stop the board, I'm going to be tough on him. Not one runs openly on being weak on immigration, right? Because they know they would lose if they did that. And so, but yet, they haven't defunded sanctuary states like California. They haven't defunded sanctuary cities. They could overhaul this whole bureaucracy that makes it harder to remove illegal aliens from this country, and they haven't done it. So I think ultimately they're going to have to step up to the plate. What happened in Florida is the predictable consequence of these sanctuary policies. But you know, we as Floridians, we can't reach out and change California's policies. Like, that's beyond our capacity as a state government. You know, I have people, you know, saying, oh, we wish California was doing, you know, what you're doing. I was like, well, you got to elect different people. I mean, ultimately, that's what you got to do, and they haven't been willing to do that. So I think it's going to continue. But there is ways to hold these rogue states accountable. And Congress has the power of the purse. Congress has the ability to regulate appropriately, and certainly can help streamline the immigration operations that are being undertaken both in Florida and with the Trump administration. So I thank the Lieutenant Governor Collins for going out there, bringing him back. I know there's going to be really swift justice that's going to be administered, but this did not need to happen. This was totally avoidable, and it is the result of bad policies.